What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 17 of the Higher Purpose Podcast. It's me, Chris Werman, alongside
Brandon Petta. How we doing, gang?
That's right, we are live from the one and only Legacy Fitness Club in Gilliland, New York.
Episode 17.
Keep it PG, keep it PG.
Keep it PG, my bad,
That's
bro.
right.
All right, dog. Yo, so, listeners, today we are talking about me and Chris's 90 days to Memorial Day. It's our 90 days that we are absolutely dialing it the hell in. We are locked in. We are focused up. And we wanted to let you know why we decided that these 90 days were a pivotal time to just give it all we got, lead the way, bring others along with us, and just explain exactly what that entails and why we are doing this.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. We're 13 days in. This is day 13 of our 90 days, and I'm feeling so locked in. Probably more confident than I've felt in myself in a long time. Feeling like the benefits already. Weight's coming down. Cardio's getting better. Still feeling strong. Diet's going good. So I'm locked.
Hell
to
yeah,
say the
brother.
least. And this is a beautiful opportunity because we started 90 days out from the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, which is like the kickoff to summer. So why not make these 90 days the hardest, most suffering times to get there, to get to our peak physiques for summer?
Mm-hmm.
And we're both trying to push limits, both trying to push boundaries physically and mentally growing along the way.
Yeah. No, 1,000,000%, man. And this is just such a great time. Like, so many people, we set our resolutions January, February, but especially being in the Northeast, it can seem like for a lot of people, like summertime and the warm, like it's so far away. And so people want to get in shape for summer, but then they always fall back on that excuse like, whoa, it's still snow out. I don't really feel the summertime coming along. And the thing is, whether you've been consistent or not for January, February, the important thing is now that it's March time, there's no more excuses, no more bullshit. The sun is peeking through. Maybe not today as we're getting a little bit, a pretty good bit of snow, but the sun's peeking through. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And if you can truly just dial in your nutrition, if we can be consistent with the gym, we can hit our cardio, hit our weights. If you are on point for 90 days, you legitimately can transform your entire life. But you can do that. You can transform your physique. You can transform your mindset. But you can also shatter so many of the limiting beliefs that you have when you're focused and disciplined for even just 3 months.
Right.
3 months out of your life, it's not the longest time in the world, but it is enough to make huge changes and shatter beliefs and just do things that you never thought was possible for yourself. And a reason that me and Chris are really taking this on, and Chris actually openly and put out on social media that like this is going to be the best physique he's ever been in his life. The reason that we're doing this is obviously we want to feel good and look great in the summer in the sun, but we want to show people what you are truly capable of.
Right.
Because so many people settle. So many people settle, I'm in good enough shape. I am strong enough. But they've never really taken it to where they are capable of. And especially in our 20s right now, this is the time to take it to the edge. This is the time to push the limits as far as we can go to see, one, what is too much, what isn't enough, and so we can actually find a great balance for our future self. Like, holy shit, I did all this and I was able to attain this. Like, that was amazing, but like, I have other things going on in my life right now, so maybe I won't be able to go that far, but you know what I'm saying? It's a great time to figure out what works best for you.
And I think you said something great there, pivotal. And the reason that I felt like this was like a pivotal moment, and for me, this whole 90-day journey is so much more than just the physique. Like, I feel like that's just a portion of it. It's really what I'm trying to do business-wise, what I'm trying to do here at Legacy, with the clothing brand, my mindset, my self-care habits. I'm trying to not only be like healthy in one area, because I feel like I've dialed it in the past for like 90 days of like I'm gonna focus on my physical health and get shredded and lean. But like now I'm saying I want to do that, but I also want to incorporate all these other dimensions of wellness and health that I want to get locked in on and have that all come together to see what I can truly do over 90 days. And so far, I've been saying it to Brandon every day, but I have had the most productive days where I'm putting out more content than ever. I'm getting more done business wise. It's just been absolutely insane. I'm feeling better physically, and not only that, I feel like I'm spending more time with myself, and I feel more connected to my own thoughts. I'm feeling less anxious, which is crazy because usually if I have a lot on my plate, I feel very anxious. But I'm so organized, game plan on how I want to like handle these 90 days, how I want to be on point, and every day it's just one day after another. It's like boom, good day, boom, next day's good, and I'm stringing them along, and now we're getting into that flow state almost 2 weeks in that it's like, I feel unstoppable at this point.
What are like so just so like people have some like practical like advice or things that like what are you doing like on a daily basis? I know it's so much and it changes like every single day. But like, what are like some things like what are some like non-negotiable things that you're like,
Right.
yo, this was a fucking solid day at one of these 90 days which was on point.
All right, so for those of you that don't know, I do daily vlogs on Chris Workman Physique YouTube, which I'm actually documenting. I'm creating a daily vlog for every single day. And I'm putting out some type of valuable talk in each of those videos. And I'm also journaling along with that, so one day they'll be available for you, whether it's in article form or ebook form or blog form. We're yet to know, but I have a nice collection that I've created.
Oh, yeah.
One of the days I talk about non-negotiables. So this is something that I implemented recently, about probably sometime in January, February. I started to experiment with this list to see what works best. So I started to think about what makes my days successful. Like when I look up at the end of the day, what are the things that must get accomplished in order for me to consider it a successful day? And I'm going to pull up my list right now, actually. But my list is rather intense, and I even say this like in my vlogging. It's really intense, but keep in mind a lot of these habits and must do's are something that I've been doing already, or like I would periodically do. So these are not. It's not like for some people this would be completely life transforming and mind blowing, but for me it's just kind of an extension of things that I already do, and instead of having them as like, oh, I could get this done today, it's I must get it done today.
For sure.
So my list is morning weigh-ins. That's the first one. So like start my day with morning weigh-ins. It's later on in the list, but it's 5 minutes for faith and gratitude. So every single day on my way to the gym, I listen to a biblical motivational speech, which helps keep my relationship with God connected. So that's like my spiritual gratitude side. 5 minutes for faith is non-negotiable. Morning weigh-in, my resistance training, cardio, 10 minutes of nonfiction reading, a daily journal entry, 5 minutes for a loved one, because that's something that I've noticed in the past. When I go full-blown hustle, I tend to cut off all my relationships and cut out the world. So I've been making it a must that I must spend 5 minutes on whether it's a close friend, my mother, sister. Typically it's my mom. She loves to check in with me. A gallon of water is number 8. Number 9 is a daily vlog, which I've been doing on YouTube, and writing this book is in my article.
Hell yeah.
And then number 10 is a diet comprised of only whole foods. So these are my 10 non-negotiables for 90 days, meaning we're having a diet of whole foods. The reason that I put it as this is because I did not want to restrict myself and say I must follow like X as a strict diet, because I thought that could be a little bit much. And this way, it's like if I'm going out to eat or doing something of that nature, that I'll be able to get a chicken and baked potato, steak and baked potato, and it's still whole foods. Not the best, but like some fine lines. And if you can hear that, that's my graphic design guy blowing me up. The gallon of water is something that I've been doing for a long time, but when you're hydrated and feeling good, it really helps with brain functioning. Everything else, the daily journal entry. The daily journal entry like helps keep me connected with myself. I feel like the reading helps me business-wise, concepts-wise. And then the resistance training, cardio, and weigh-in really just helps towards those physical goals. So I have some way of like self-care in here, physical goals, business goals, and mental, kind of emotional marketing for the business. So a little bit of everything.
This is so actually. This is the first time I'm seeing Chris's list, but I love it because my non-negotiables are almost. It's almost exactly the same. I don't have it written down, but like it's habitual at this point in time.
Yeah.
I have the morning weigh-in every single day. I do like a little bit like stretching warm up like at my house. Then I hit my lift session. Then I hit my cardio. And then my day is a little bit differently. But even to start the day, I love that you have the 5 minutes for faith gratitude because I also have a gratitude journal that the first thing to start the day every single day. What are you grateful for? And I write down. And oftentimes, it's very important to be specific with your gratitude, and it really it just the frame of mind going into the day is so much better. I've written countless times. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to strengthen my body and improve my cardiorespiratory fitness. I've written on other days I'm grateful for coffee. I've written things like that, and it's amazing because it reminds you that working out and working on yourself and developing yourself is absolutely a privilege. People think that it's like so much work and so demanding. There are so many people in the world that are struggling to just survive, and the fact that we are in a position that we can actually put pieces together and do them precisely so that we increase our muscle, burn fat, become stronger, improve. Like we are in such a privileged position to be able to create our ideal physical specimen. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely
I couldn't
amazing.
agree more, and that's something that I actually. This was like going back to, we'll say, quarantine days last summer. I remember there was days that like I dreaded my workouts. I was starting to almost fall out of love with the gym and like cardio. And when I started to frame my thoughts every morning, I would wake up and I'd be like, I'm so grateful I have an opportunity to work out today. I'm so grateful that I have an opportunity to better myself today. Some people don't get that.
Exactly.
And it's like, if you can think like that, the gym becomes a different experience. Working out becomes a different experience because now it's not something like, oh, I have to do this. It's something that you're grateful and are
I get to get
stronger
today. I get to get pumped up. I get to feel good. I get to just work out. Like it's an amazing thing.
And this is something too where it's like such a mindset shift. Mm-hmm. So it's the same situation. We're all dealing with the same situations, but just reframing, looking at something through a different lens, how that can change everything.
Yeah.
So mindset is everything, and that's why like I have the 5 minutes for faith and gratitude and listening to nonfiction books, because that could be a mindset development book. Mm-hmm. It's not in there, but even when I'm working out, I'm listening to motivational speeches to put my mindset in the right place. And it really does make you feel a different way and carry yourself differently.
Two critical concepts and points that I've been thinking about a ton recently. One is that everything in life is infinitely better when you earn the reward. Everything is infinitely better, listen to that, when you earn the reward. And an example of that, when you have a phenomenal, nourishing, like breakfast after a lift, whatever, lunch or dinner, when you have an incredible meal that you earned from having an incredible lift session, from doing an amazing cardio session, your body worked for that, you overcame adversity and obstacles, and now you are recovering and allowing yourself to nourish your body. You're giving your body what it needs. You feel so much better when it's just like, for example, I went on a hike with my buddies Billy and John recently, and it was just so amazing because we got like a bunch of food and stuff that we were gonna enjoy later on, but instead of just like having just like a bunch of food, like you wake up, roll out of bed, like play video games and just eat it, like our bodies, like we lifted that morning, we like went on this long hike, like we stumble, we felt like it was You worked and overcame adversity and obstacles, and you enjoyed the reward. And the reward is so much greater when you have just overcame a challenge.
Mm.
So just you find, I'm just trying to tell you guys, like, you are so much more fulfilled when you go through adversity instead of just being given something. Earned, not given, is huge. And the other concept I really want to dive into is not settling. So many people settle for the my body. I mean, I'm in okay enough shape. I did enough in this lift. I did enough cardio. My nutrition was okay. And it translates throughout life. Like, people compromise and settle all the time, and it has to end. And if you can stop settling in one point in your life, it'll translate over into a bunch.
Absolutely.
And here is a really good example that I love, and this is shout out to Billy. The guys had gotten a couple like sandwiches and brought them over to my house, and I think John was just gonna like he was just gonna like eat the sandwich cold, like it was in the fridge, and Billy was like, no way, bro, like we're not settling eating the cold sandwich, like we're gonna heat it up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's something like that, like take the time and like make the authentic nice meal like in the oven with whole foods instead of like the microwavable crap. Like it just, we settle for the short term fixes, sugar highs all the time, and we don't. But when you can put things off for when you know it's going to have a greater value to it later on, it's always worth the wait. And that's exactly what these 90 days are. It's you're disciplined, you're focused, you're dialed, you're locked in. Nutrition, fitness, for these 90 days, it's a sacrifice, and you know you're going to come out on top, in just like on top of the world. When you're in your best shape, you're going to be so excited, just confident in yourself, and that's going to translate to everything. It's not just your performance in the gym, it's in your business, it's in your relationships. We need to stop settling for the bullshit that's bringing us down or not bringing us anywhere, and put in the work, be focused, disciplined, and just create what we're fucking capable of, and it's absolutely
Dude,
worth it every time.
I couldn't agree more. And like, it's that domino effect of momentum, of setting your stand. I hate like when people have low or average standards. Like they just expect average. I hate to say it, like average is always on the table. Anybody can be average.
Exactly.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
An average house, an average home, an average wife, an average life.
Yeah.
All of that shit is always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Why the are we settling?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm being super serious. I cannot understand, and I hate to say it, like if you're listening to this and you're offended, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I just cannot relate with you. I don't understand how you can settle for a normal life, how you could settle for average. I'm going to try my hardest to live an extraordinary life, and if I look back and I lived an average life, fuck, at least I know I tried my fucking hardest to like excel to that level. So do I think it's crazy to set your standards super high to expect the best for yourself? Absolutely not. You should always expect that you're in great shape. You should always expect that your business and your bank account is flourishing. And if it is, grow it even more. Like in relationships, like you should have the best relationships. You should drive a nice car. You should feel good. You should wear nice clothes. All of these things, like you should aspire to want that. And I'm not materialistic. I'm not about flaunting money, but I'm about driving and pushing myself to be better every single day. And that includes growing all areas of life. And if you're settling for average, if you're settling for your X amount of week paycheck that you've been getting for the last 3 years now, and you bitch about your boss not giving you a raise, like fuck you, you're lazy. That's average.
Bro, I am just, gang, some people have actually, it's been really cool. Me and Chris do this thing where we'll throw up on Instagram, like we remind each other every single day of what day it is of 90, because we're there to support each other. We're holding each other accountable. We're in this together for these 90 days and beyond, but especially these 90 days. And some people have let us know at the gym, like, hey, man, like, we've been seeing, like, you guys throwing up stuff about this 90-day challenge and this and that. And they've hopped on board. And what I want to tell you is, you guys, at any point in time, you are able to create your own challenges. And if you're ever in a point where things are almost like, like too easy or you're settling or complacent, you can create your own challenge. You can hop on board whenever you
Right.
damn well want. And you can say, you know what, today I'm starting and there's fucking 70 something. Chris, you just figured out today, right?
77 days, that's 11 weeks until Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah.
that Saturday.
Yeah.
But, and this comes down to goal setting in general, it's deadlines. And this is something that, like, even Mark Beliveau. So Mark Beliveau is one of my great buddies. He taught me deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came to, like, building legacy in the garage, he'd be like, okay, well, we need to do this next. What's our deadline? I'd be like, this date. Then you go and get it done. You do whatever it takes to get it done by that date. So set yourself, if you have a goal in mind, which if you don't, then you're absolutely crazy and you're a settling average person. So whatever it is that you've been putting off or you want to accomplish, think of that right now. And then you can say, I want it by this date. Not, oh, by summer I want to be in shape. Well, when the fuck is summer?
Exactly.
It's last I checked, it ran from June till September. So determine the date. If it's July 4th, if it's June 1st, if it's whatever, May, whenever we end, 90 days, 77 days away. But set the date so you have a specific deadline. And then what I want you to do is say, what are the daily tasks that I need to create and conquer every single day, day in and day out, that are going to guide me towards that? And then say what barriers. I didn't even write in my non-negotiables because it should be a given. I'm not drinking alcohol for 90 days. That's not going to help me reach my goals in any way, shape, or form. So fuck that. It's out of the equation. I don't even need to write it down because it was a waste of a space in my top 10. But what are your barriers going to be? Maybe alcohol is a big barrier. And by checking it off every day that you went a day without having a sip of alcohol, if that's a big victory for you, then write it down on your list. But figure out those barriers, the things that you need to do to overcome them, and then create a list of every single day, day in and day out. And I explained to Brandon, I have this in an Excel spreadsheet that you can actually check each day, like that you've completed the task. And every single day I update it with the day and the topic of the day for my vlog. And what happens is, even when I'm running late or running behind schedule, which happens to me quite frequently, I now refer to that list and I just start to say, what can I chip away at next in the time that I have? And I start to get to work. And by the end of the day, thus far, day 13, I've been able to cross off every single one of those things on that list. And I know that I'm on point. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I have never felt more locked in my entire life right now. Like, I feel unstoppable. I feel super confident and inspired, motivated. Even my energy has gone through the roof. Like, I feel like I have this purpose. And these next 77 days are going to be a very fun time. And I just can't. I'm so excited. I'm actually super grateful for this challenge, for this. But anyways, I was saying before, I just went on that tangent.
No,
Set your list of non-negotiables and then just worry about one day at a time. So get, one day at a time.
Yep.
One day leads to 2 days, and 2 days leads to 4. And before you know it, a week's gone by and you've had a week of successful days. I'm telling you right now, if you're someone who's been struggling or been inconsistent with your goals, if you put in a solid week's worth of work towards your goals, you are going to get this ball of momentum rolling that is almost, it feels unstoppable. And then you hit it again for a second week, now you're really rolling. And by that time, 3 and 4 weeks in, it is habit. You don't even have to think. Like, at this point, I don't even think that I have to make a daily vlog. It's just part of what I do every day. It's not something that I'm thinking about doing. My list of non-negotiables might change over the course of the next 77 days because some of these tasks, like the gallon of water thing, might just become a waste of space because it's like, yeah, that's just who you are.
Exactly.
And then if these good habits become a part of who you are, daily journaling, gratitude, reading, wow, now you're becoming a machine and you have more tools that you can implement.
Exactly.
Wow.
And me and Chris, again, remind ourselves all the time. Honestly, we always say 1 day, 1 week at a time. But you can break down even more. One choice, one action at a time.
Absolutely.
Then 1 day, then 1 week, and then it starts compounding. The first couple weeks are going to be the most difficult, and when you can fucking do that for 2 weeks, you'll be so amazed with what you like. Wow, I did it for 2 weeks. Now we're rolling.
Right.
Now we're
It's full
firing
steam
on
ahead.
all cylinders.
Right.
And really truly that is the bottom line here, gang. You just find what it is that your vision is, what you need to attain. Write down what you need to do to get there. Eliminate what you don't need, which could actually be even more pivotal for you
Right.
to achieving that. And then have that set deadline. And like we said, we're doing this for 90 days. You can do it for your own 90 days starting now. You can fucking hop on board with us 77 days until Memorial Day and just see what you are capable of achieving in 3 months. And then once the 3 months is over and after you are in such an amazing place and seen all that you've done, that beautiful fucking realization happens when you're like, I was just able to do this. What else am I capable of?
Right.
What if I could do this? What if I could do that? And then you just keep on fucking stacking up and
raising the standard.
Exactly.
So now, like, set your standards high, and then they continue to rise. Like, I feel like that's how my life is going. Like, I set myself a very high standard, and I've continued to raise that bar to a point where even if I look back a year ago to think about all the things that I do now on a daily basis, it would have been mind-blowing to me back then that I handle this workload now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see in another year. And if you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, you'll see that I've begun to repost, Snapchats and pictures from a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We were just getting ready to open up the garage and to see what truly has occurred in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It opens my eyes to like what could be accomplished over this next year, where I didn't even feel 100% locked in. Like I was doing everything that I could to get to where we are now. So it's like, what if I do for a year?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm beyond excited, not only for my own personal goals, but for the business, for the people that are around me, because that's something that I value deeply, is not only bringing myself up, raising my own quality of life and standards, but bringing everybody else on the team. Take them along with us. We're all going to lift each other up.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's, guys, the bottom line I want to just reiterate here is earn your reward. Stop settling. When you overcome adversity and you overcome obstacles, you feel so much better, so much more deserving of that restful sleep at night, because it was earned, it was deserved. That meal that's going to nourish you after you push your body to the limits in the gym, you got your cardio in. Stop settling and going for the easy route. That is going to be the number one way you're going to feel regret and remorse in your day-to-day and in your life as a whole. Fucking quit it right now. Delayed gratification is the move.
And you can find it on the Legacy website too, but I wrote, and it's something that my mind has really been wrapped around for a few years now, is the idea of when I'm 80 years old. Like, when I'm on my deathbed, and put yourself in this position when you're 80, 90 years old and you're on your deathbed and you know it's your time. What do you want to look back and think about, like, your life? Do you want to ever look back and question, well, I wish I just worked a little bit harder. I wish I did this. I don't want to look back and ever wish that I did knowing that I could have done more and didn't. Because right now the ball's in your court. If you're in your 20s, like Brendan said, the ball's in your court. You're young. And this is a time to take risks. Do you have a family to provide for? Do you have kids? Do you have a mortgage? Like, you probably don't have much to lose. And if you're not taking risks, you're missing out on what could be an extraordinary life and wasted talent.
1,000,000%, bro. Dude, I'm fired up, baby.
Let's go.
If this doesn't fire you up, then
join along. Like, follow me along. I'm posting daily vlogs. I got a pretty consistent fan base following that. But follow me along for this journey. And if not, you're going to be seeing the before and after transformations and think, damn, I wish I started when I was a part of that. I wish I started when I listened to that podcast. Now it's 2 months later and I'm fat and out of shape for summer, and Chris Wortman shredded. So what are you going to do? That's my challenge to you, all right?
Let's go. You heard it here first. You've been challenged.
Yeah, that's a call to action right there. Episode 17 in the books, baby. This is our 90-day challenge. This is our 90 days to get right. The launch, we're locked, baby. And we will catch you next week on the Higher Purpose Podcast.
Don't fucking settle.
Amen. Never settle.